Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
It's hot, it's sticky, and if you don't have Taylor and air conditioning, well then I don't know what to tell you. You got to call Taylor 500 help because they will make your house nice and cool on these hot steamy days. I mean, if someone tells you, "Oh, you live in Rochester, you don't need air conditioning," tell them to call Taylor 500 help because I guarantee you're going to need air conditioning, especially on days like today. Duct cleaning, air conditioning, heating, plumbing, home energy, comprehensive maintenance plans. Taylor has been in business since 1947. If you need a water heater, of course, Taylor Heating and Plumbing and Bradford White have been the most reliable source for all your plumbing and heating needs. They have same-day service and upfront pricing, and they're looking for help. If you are talented in HVAC, they're looking for techs, they're looking for plumbers, they're looking for project managers, and they're looking for office personnel at Taylor Heating and Cooling. Taylor 500 help. Check them out. Also, Precision Lawn and Garden. If you want the best lawn in town, you go see my friends Justin and Kimberly, 195 North Avenue in Webster, open weekdays 8 to 5, Saturday 9 to noon. Precision Lawn and Garden has everything you need. Lawnmowers, chainsaws, they have blowers, they have everything, new models, on sale models, all still products, Cub Cadet, Ferris, and Toro. It's Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster. And if you want your driveway to look the best ever, Express Sealers. Nothing makes your curb appeal look nicer than a freshly sealed driveway. Express Sealers. They are a professional company, not one of those door knockers that said, "Hey, I got some extra from the neighbor. You want it?" No, they're not those guys. They're going to make sure that your investment is protected. So call today. Express Sealers, 645-2010, 645-2010. And we ask you to support our advertisers because they support us and we would not be here without our advertisers. Come on.
Live from the We the People broadcast studios in sunny, humid 84-degree Irondequoit.
Woo, sticky.
Today is National Waffle Day. She likes hers with strawberries, whipped cream, and a pitcher of mimosas. Here she is. It's Kimberly Ray.
That's it. Hello. Welcome to Kimberly's Revolution. I do like whipped cream on a dun dun. It's an app. Okay. So that's a commercial now. That song that everyone was mimicking on, TikTok, and they're all doing the dance. You got that, and the Bourbon Street steak and the whipped cream and the Oreo shake. You know that one? I saw the actual Applebee's commercial today. You talk about smart. You know, it just turned out it was a funny song, country song by some country.
I thought it was a Cardi B song.
By some country dude. And then all of a sudden this, dance started trending on the TikToks and, all the other Instagram videos and whatever else there is out there. I don't know. And then everyone's doing this whipped cream and 2 straws.
Does anybody know what she's doing?
Yeah, people do. I know. I mean, yeah, I got two straws because I got you. And anyway, so now that this video is trending, Applebee's smart, because they got smart marketing communications people, said, let's put all these TikTok dancers and people that are on Instagram doing the dance, got whipped cream, and make it into a commercial. Brilliant. Freaking brilliant. Yeah. And that guy's getting paid. That country singer, whatever the hell his name is, he's getting paid. But everyone knows the song. You know the song I'm talking about?
Not a clue.
The Bourbon Street steak and
is it something about milkshakes bringing the boys to the yard?
That song is from Kellis, and it's about 15 years old.
Well, that's where I am.
But I don't even know where I got the name Kellis. Where did that come up? But that's
pulled it out of your ass.
Right out of my backside. So hi, Welcome to Kimberly's Revolution. How are you?
Hi, Kimberlina.
So great to see you guys. Got a hell of a show today. Name of the show today is I'll take misogynistic comments for 100, Alex.
Okay.
I'll take misogynistic comments. We generally people that are not good people who have made comments in I don't know that this Mike Richards from Jeopardy is a good person or a bad person. I just know that a lot of shows, a lot of radio shows, a lot of TV shows, a lot of game shows, you find a lot of misogyny. It comes along with it's the nature of the beast, I guess. And, should it happen? No. But if you have a willing female co-host that, stands there and takes it, or a willing female model, or, someone that is playing along and is okay with that, should the other person 15 years later be punished for what at the time everyone thought was great fun?
Yeah, of course not.
So, my question was, listen, I, back in the day, worked at a radio station where I put on a bikini and strapped Easter eggs to my body with duct tape filled with money and ran across a casino parking lot. Was my co-host at the time a misogynistic jerk? No, he wasn't. I played along. It was great fun. I enjoyed my time. That was my role as the female co-host, not only to strap Easter eggs to my body wearing a bikini and cowboy boots, but, it was a source of entertainment, right? It was theater of the mind. I didn't mind it. So why should anybody else mind 15 or 20 years later?
I wore a wig a couple months ago.
Okay, so Steve is working in a 64-degree office. Very nice. I'm glad for you. Katie says, hi, Katie. It is good to see you. And of course, Joy checking in as well. So
good thing Richard Dawson isn't alive.
Joy knows what I'm talking about.
How many people would sue Richard
Whipped
Dawson
cream.
right now?
Oh my God, he kissed everyone.
He kissed everybody.
I
He kissed
know
more than Cuomo.
So we're going to break down the whole Jeopardy Mike Richards debacle, but not before. Listen, I want to show everyone first off, we have breaking news. And
we do?
This is a band that I saw in 2015 when they came to the Ralph, which is, I don't know what in the hell it's called today, but we'll just call it Bill Stadium. In 2015, it was me and my husband and my daughter. We went to see the Rolling Stones. And there's breaking news today that the drummer, Charlie Watts, who is 80 years old, has passed away. There is Charlie. Charlie was actually on tour with them in 2015. I don't think he was doing this latest tour with the Rolling Stones, because I believe that he was a freaking 80. Okay, there's that. And the fact that he'd been ill for a while.
Well, he's as old as Dr. Fauci.
So Charlie Watts, drummer for the Rolling Stones, fantastic drummer, probably one of the best drummers in rock and roll history, has passed away. Has gone to that great concert in the sky. So we will miss Charlie Watts. There he is, back in his heyday. There's Charlie, young Charlie.
Looks like the same drum set.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, I don't know, but there he is. I can't believe all the years and all the concerts that I ever went to see. I didn't see the Rolling Stones until 2015. I had multiple chances in the 80s and the 90s, and I just didn't. The Steel Wheel Tour, I could have, I don't know why I didn't go. Oh, I know why. Because the next day, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 were at Arrowhead Stadium, and the Steel Wheel Tour was in St. Louis, and I had to pick because I was a college student at the time. I didn't have enough money.
You didn't have $9 to go see the Rolling Stones?
So I went to see Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5.
Good choice.
Why wouldn't you? I was like, I want to go see Michael Jackson. And so I didn't go see Rolling Stone. Don't hold that against me.
I saw them in 1982 with the Police at Rich Stadium there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 1982.
Wow.
With the Police.
What a concert that was.
Yeah, I don't remember much of it.
Wow. Sneaking booze in, did you?
Sure.
Like we all did. So
Charlie Watts?
Yeah.
His net worth $250 million.
What?
He did pretty good.
He did damn good.
Wouldn't you think that Mick Jagger's net worth would be a lot higher than Charlie Watts?
You got to look at who's had more wives. I don't know.
Mick Jagger's $360 million. Doesn't seem like enough.
Wow.
Seems like Charlie did well for himself.
I
In
don't know.
comparison, Ringo Starr's net worth is $350 million, roughly the same as Mick Jagger.
Wow.
Wouldn't you think Mick Jagger would have more money than Ringo Starr?
One would think, but
Right.
I mean, who knows? I don't know how these things go.
So when you look at the
But-
comparison between
Look at
Charlie Watts and Mick Jagger, the same comparison is Ringo Starr to Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney is 1.2 billion
Wow.
with a B. So Mick Jagger spent a lot of dough in his life.
Well, he's got a lot of ex-wives. Mike Megason, our good friend Mike.
Hello, Michael.
Charlie has been married to the same woman for 57 years. Wow.
He
Wow.
brought a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day for lunch.
Wow.
Brought a lunchbox.
That is amazing. Now, let's not believe that Charlie Watts was faithful on the road. He might have been. I don't know. But
Pure angel.
I don't know. I don't know. He might have been married to the same woman for 57 years because he's freaking smart and it's easier. You know, it's cheaper to
He's
keep
got
her.
250 million now.
It's cheaper to keep her. So he didn't have to pay off,
Right.
4, 5, 6 wives. He didn't have like 10 kids from all these baby mamas. So maybe Charlie Watts was the smartest of them all. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Don Everly also died last
I did hear
last
that.
week over the weekend. Yeah. So thank you, Mike. You got his autograph last year? Who, Charlie Watts or Don Everly? I don't, of the Everly brothers. But anyway, I just wanted to make that announcement just because, I'm a rock and roll girl.
Yep.
And I think that is significant.
Lori
too.
and I were going to go last
mentioned.
summer to the Stones concert, and then it got canceled. And
Yeah.
we got our money back and never went.
I love concerts.
So
I just
we're
don't-
never gonna see him
I don't go through the mail. You got it through the mail.
through the mail.
I don't know if that was actually his. He probably has a secretary signing that, Michael. Let's be honest. So yeah, welcome to Kimberly's Revolution. It is a Tuesday. We want to
Welcome.
thank all of our advertisers and our supporters. Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, Precision Lawn and Garden. We also want to thank Taylor Heating and Cooling. Call Taylor 500 Help. If you don't have air conditioning, you need to get it. And also Express Sealers. We love them. They do driveways. And if your driveway is kind of looking shabby, Express Sealers will come out and they will do that
They
for
will
you.
fill your cracks.
They will fill your crack.
Right.
Yes, they will. Thank you, Austin. Austin is here today
Brother
from
Austin.
Rockbox
Hello.
Productions. There he is, as we always see Austin. He's just waving from behind a computer, and that's the way we like our Austin.
Right.
He's always so friendly. He's always there. He is. See?
How do you like your waffles, Austin?
Strawberries and whipped cream.
Whipped
There you go.
It's the only way to eat them.
2 straws. Got you. Okay. Anyway, so thank you to Rockvox Productions for providing us with Austin on a regular basis, and also to Fitz Rockvox Productions. If you have a group of people or a marketing organization or a company that want to do a podcast or want to make a movie, Fitz at Rockvox Productions, he's your guy. He can put it together.
Or if you want to do a podcast here on the We the People Podcast Network,
We are here in the We the People podcast studios.
I'm
and
audition for a show.
You
I'm
should.
thinking of a fantasy football show.
You are?
I'm thinking about it.
I know a guy that's good with football. His name is Carl.
This is going to be a shit show, though. Is he funny?
Carl is very funny.
All right.
Carl is a very funny guy.
See if he wants to do it.
So you're talking waffles. So waffles, I love waffles,
Who doesn't?
but I love watermelon.
Pancakes or waffles, though?
Oh, I like them all because I'm a fat girl at heart. So, and I don't mind saying it. I am. And I went to my doctor yesterday, right?
Right.
I had my yearly physical. I actually went. She chewed my ass for 2 things.
The
One,
vaccine,
the vaccine.
right?
And I'm like, stop, talk to the hand, wasting your breath. All I want you to do is look.
That looks
I
like
took-
the whipped cream dance.
I took my blood. It left like a mark. I look like a hair, like a junkie. Anyway, so she hit that vein, and so I had to have all the blood taken. I had to, pee in a cup. I had to do all that thing. Everything is wonderful. She yelled at me, one, because of the vaccine. Why aren't you vaccinated? And I said, I don't know. Why haven't you had your, gynecological exam lately? Why don't we talk that? How was it when you put your feet up in the stirrups and spread your legs and they put that little thing in? I mean, See, that stuff like that.
Did you tell her because I had full blown COVID and sat across from you and ate your French fries?
I just said I haven't, and she goes, "How come you haven't had your mammogram?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm an idiot."
Yeah, that one's a problem.
Yeah, especially with someone who had breast cancer.
Yeah, that one's a problem.
So I haven't had a mammogram in 2 years, but anyway,
I'm not going to give you one.
So I went there. So everything is good, except for while people were losing weight during COVID, I actually gained some pounds. And you know what? So my goal is the next year to take off those pounds. I have been very bad. I've had severe tendonitis in my foot, no excuses, but my foot hurt so bad yesterday. I was like limping around. It was killing me. So I have peroneal or arterial tendonitis. Yeah. So my foot just kills me all the time.
Exercise in the pool.
Yeah, I should, right?
Sure.
So I don't know if eating pancakes and waffles is probably the best thing for me right now, since I had a significant weight gain.
Just pile it on.
But whatever. Well, I figure I'm 55. Do I need to worry about my freaking weight anymore? I've been dieting since I was 10. Damn it.
Screw
it's been a long time.
Public
Anyway,
service announcement. Guys, make sure you check your wife's breasts for lumps.
So, yes, incorporate your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or we don't discriminate. I don't judge. So I know. So Sue is yelling at me. Look at Sue giving me the emojis that are bad. So yeah.
Give her hell, Sue.
Waffles, pancakes. How about watermelon pizza? Both those things I love. Ooh. I love watermelon and I love pizza. Never will come the day when I love them both. Watermelon pizza is trending today. There it is. It's a thing.
Oh, it actually does look like a watermelon pizza.
It is a watermelon
pizza. It's not a Hawaiian pizza.
It is a watermelon
pineapple.
Pizza. You can even put sauce on it. That's a different kind. I think that's goat cheese, and it's got some other things on it.
Oh, you mean there's no bread or sauce in that?
No. They put the sauce on top of the watermelon. Oh. Watermelon pizza. Someone needs to be shot. You just take them outside. You just turn them over to the Taliban right freaking now. Right now, turn them over to the Taliban.
What do they do with the rest of the watermelon? Looks like they cut it through the middle.
So they cut it in like circular, like a wheel, and then
watermelon's not round.
No, but you cut off both ends, and then you can make it, and then and then you flatten it out, and you cut it into.
So how many pizzas do you get out of a watermelon?
Probably two or three, depending on how thick you want it. But there are things that should not exist in the world.
No.
And a watermelon pizza is one of the things that should never exist in the world.
Why ruin something that's perfect?
I know people that put salt on watermelon. Do you know people that put salt on watermelon?
I'm not a watermelon fan, although I do like the Starbursts.
Are you freaking un-American? How could you not like watermelon?
Fan. Not a watermelon fan.
Oh my. I love watermelon. I am a big watermelon girl. So we have that. And I also want to show you, before we get into the hard-hitting stuff, I want to show you a picture of what it looks like to have your ass thoroughly kicked.
Oh.
Can we see the picture of the guy?
When you said look like and then ass, I got a little nervous.
His name is Kenneth Cyro, and Kenneth Cyro is from Hilton.
Ooh.
That's what it looks like to get your ass thoroughly kicked. And then you say, before I get my ass kicked anymore, I think I'm going to pull out my gun and start firing off a couple of rounds in the bar I was at. And that is one Kenneth Cyro, who right down the road from me at a bar I've only been to once, the Willow Inn. Mm-hmm. That is where Kenneth Cyro from Hilton, who lives on Huffer Road, was getting his ass kicked.
Is that the marina? Where is that?
Yeah, it's right there.
That's the Braddock's Bay Marina.
So there's the hotel with the restaurant, and then there's the Willow Inn, and then there's another little bar. So there's Braddock's Bay,
right?
And then there's another little bar, and then on the far side, closer to where I live, is the Willow Inn.
Okay,
right there on Manitou.
Don't believe I've been there.
I've only been there once. I was there for some kind of a party.
If they would like to sponsor our fantasy football league, I would love to go to the Willow Inn every Wednesday.
I don't know exactly what happened to Kenneth or why the fight. Here's what I do know. There was an event going on at the Willow Inn on Sunday. There were tents and everything set up. This is what I know. And so there was some kind of an event. This was like 10:45 at night. I can imagine everyone's pretty soused at this point. And there was an argument or some kind of jawing back and forth between this guy and another guy that was shot. So there was a fight beforehand, and obviously Kenneth is getting the shiatsu knocked out of him. So he pulls out the great equalizer in all things. He pulls out the gun.
Oh, I thought you were saying something else.
And he shoots the guy several times. The guy is in the hospital. He survives. Don't know what his name is. But Kenneth Cyro, 44, of Hilton, is charged with second-degree assault, first-degree reckless endangerment, second-degree menacing. He shoots the guy several times, and he gets out on $1,000 bail.
I'm not an attorney, and I don't play one on TV. Could it be self-defense?
I don't know.
Okay.
From the look at his face,
he needed some defensing.
He did some defensing, but who knows if he didn't deserve it? I don't know.
He used his face as defense.
I don't know if Kenneth Cyro deserved the beating. But again, he pulled out a gun, and in order from getting, the shiatsu really kicked out of him, he stopped the fight, and a gun will do that. So if anyone knows, I'm not in really the thick of it anymore. So I don't really sometimes hear as much as I used to. I used to have my, finger on the pulse of everything. I would have already known probably what the fight was about and who the other guy was that was shot by now. So if anyone knows, I am a slacker. I am a slacker. So that's what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
So you're saying we need a metal detector at the first annual Kimberly's Revolution?
No, I'm a lover, not a
birthday
fighter.
bash?
I'm a lover.
Okay.
Never a fighter. I only punch someone if it's deserved. And I've only done that a couple of times in my life. And every single time I have punched someone,
they go down.
And let me be clear, they've absolutely deserved it.
Okay.
But I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. But I will kick some ass if some kicking is necessary. And if I'm provoked, don't provoke me. But that's all.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. There was a fight. People cannot behave. They can't behave in
the Pittsburgh Steelers game.
They can't behave, right? They can't behave in a grocery store. They can't behave on airlines. They can't behave at a bus stop. They can't behave generally. And these people can't behave at football games. Last week, I think it was a Chargers-Rams game, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they don't like each other.
Okay, so do you just get into a major melee out in the parking lot? And this was at a Steelers game. Have you seen this video?
We played it.
We didn't play it yesterday. We didn't play it yesterday because we were
Oh.
too busy talking about, Biden and his, debacle in Afghanistan. But let me just show. Here's what we don't know. We don't know what transpired before this video started. We'll never know because the video doesn't start there.
Mm-hmm.
The video starts where I'm going to show you it starts. And so can we play that, Austin? Eek.
This is my worst nightmare.
Boom. Now he's going to get a beat down of major proportions.
Yeah, he got smoked.
So he pushed her first, then she slapped him. He punched. So
this is my worst nightmare. I tell Lori this all the time. If you start this, I'm not gonna stick my face in there.
Wow.
Right.
Nice job, Tom.
No.
Nice job.
I'm the one that's gonna get beat up.
You think?
Yes.
That's your job as a husband.
To get beat up?
Is to take your licking for your wife.
That guy did his job because his wife was drunk. She's drunk.
We don't know. She told the guy.
She's slurring her words.
How could you hear that? She's slurring her words from there.
She is slurring her words because I'm a slur.
Play that again.
I'm a drunk slur.
He pushed her, but we don't know. Here's what I hate. Oh boy. So, yeah, that guy's getting punched. Oh yeah, he's down. He's out for the count.
My take on that is
the
gentleman that finished it wasn't drunk, and the two that started it were drunk.
Maybe.
And he had enough.
Yeah, that could be. I don't know what the argument was. I've not seen anywhere online what the argument was beforehand, but that is.
Yeah, he took one.
He
took one.
Yeah.
He took a good one.
Yeah.
And he
So-
was like, took his hair on the hair, hit his head on the back of the chair. And
So
everything.
I would say you want to avoid those kind of things generally at football games. Try not to get in fights with people. Just can't, when people get drunk, can't they just be loving and nice? Apparently not.
Happy drunks.
Apparently not. Kathy Hochul was sworn in at midnight.
She was?
Yeah, she
Did
was.
anybody see it?
Cuomo submitted his resignation to her yesterday, and at midnight, Kathy Hochul was sworn in as the first female governor
All right.
of the state.
Everything's all fixed now.
of New York. Oh yeah,
Everything's all
perfect.
fixed. No problems.
He is denying that he left his dog Captain at the executive mansion. There's a dog. There was a dog yesterday morning. That's the dog that was left at the executive mansion. He says it's not true. I don't believe a thing that comes out of Cuomo's mouth.
No.
I think the dog was used as a prop from the get-go, and it was probably looked after 24/7 by staffers at the executive mansion. And he probably never got up one time in the middle of the night to take that dog out to pee. I guarantee it.
Right.
I guarantee that Cuomo was not involved in potty training the dog
Nope.
or any type of training. And that's why the dog was ill behaved. If what we're hearing is true, that the dog was a nipper, that he liked to bite.
Yeah, they did a poll, and this breed was the most manliest, cutest dog they could find, and that was the poll results. So that's the dog they got him.
Is that your theory?
Yeah, they polled the audience, and
So,
they got that dog.
Is Kathy Hochul going to be able to get anything done as governor of the state of New York, as the first governor of the state of
Who
New York?
cares? What kind of dog does she have?
Here's she's from Buffalo. I don't know what kind of dogs would they have in Buffalo.
I think they have all kinds of dogs.
You
in
have
Buffalo.
a mutt, right? Because Buffalo is blue collar.
Right.
So you have the muddiest mutt that you can find, and you don't
A Shih Tzu Collie.
you don't shop, you adopt, right? People in Buffalo, you have a muddy mutt, and you go to wherever you rescue. And that's what I'm hoping Kathy Hochul did. I don't know if she has a dog. Maybe she's a cat girl. Maybe she likes cats.
She looks like a cat lady.
She kind of does look like a cat lady, doesn't
Yeah.
she? So I don't know. Maybe she hates animals. I don't know.
No,
But
nobody hates animals.
here's what I wish. I wish that the first female governor of the state of New York came under different circumstances. I don't believe that she's going to be going head to head with the downstate Democrats. I don't think she stands a chance. I don't think she's a barracuda. I don't think she has it in her. Not to say that she isn't a nice woman. I am sure she is the nicest woman. And that's why she will not be able to accomplish much as a lame duck governor.
Well, guess what? She's going to get one hell of a pension for the rest of her life.
She certainly is.
Isn't it kind of like getting up to the major leagues for August baseball?
Right, exactly,
Yeah,
right?
She got called up to the big leagues.
She got called up to the big leagues.
She's
and
going to get paid.
I wish her all the best luck. I wish that people would cooperate with her, but I've got a feeling that she's going to get eaten alive by the New York City Democrats.
Yeah, she looks pretty tough to me.
and their allies. I don't.
Everything's fixed. It's all done.
I just don't.
We can cancel the show now.
We have a few parting gifts from Governor Cuomo before
Oh,
he
boy.
actually submitted his resignation yesterday, and before Kathy Hochul was sworn in as governor. We told you last week that the governor decided in his last couple of days of governor that he was going to grant clemency and pardons, and he did that to 10 convicted felons, 3 of them who had been jailed for murder. And he announced that last week. So we know that. We know that yesterday, as you know, his time was dwindling down in the last hours of governor, he decided to grant clemency to David Gilbert, who was convicted in the 1981 Brinks robbery in Rockland County that left 2 police officers and a guard dead. This David Gilbert was serving 75 years to life. He served 40 years of that time. He is now going to be referred to the parole board for potential release. And we know that there is a girlfriend of an ex-murderer that is out and running around. She's on the parole board. We know how this is going to go. So the October 20th, 1981 Brinks heist started at a mall in Rockland County. A security guard was killed, and a guard who was later survived. He was shot and severely wounded, but survived. And then when police stopped the getaway drivers at the New York State Thruway entrance in Nyack, New York, a Nyack police sergeant was shot and killed. And Officer Waverly Chipper Brown was killed, and Police Sergeant Edward O'Grady were also killed by the robbers who jumped out of the rear of the U-Haul truck that they were transporting all of the Brinks money, right? That they had stolen from the Brinks truck. This David Gilbert was the driver of that U-Haul. He had been stopped, and then the shooters jumped out of the back of the U-Haul and killed those officers. They were all a member of this Weather Underground organization. It was a radical group. They were robbing Brinks trucks because that was the money that they used to fund all of their radical political, agenda. I mean, basically they had, they were
Charlie Manson wannabes.
They were psychopaths.
Yeah.
They were psychopaths. They had this radical agenda, and it was organized and formed in the late 60s and early 70s. And by the 70s and early 80s, they were robbing places to fund their agenda.
You see, back then we had all these fun cults to deal with. Now we're just white supremacists.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So
did this guy tell Cuomo where the money was buried? Is that why he got out?
I think the money was in the back of the U-Haul truck.
Oh.
So
there's got to be a couple duffel bags. Cuomo, has anybody seen him walking around with a shovel lately?
I don't know. But that's not the only one he granted clemency to.
There's more?
He pardoned several other murders.
Were there any nuns?
A 68-year-old guy by the name of Paul Mingo, who was sentenced 50 to life for the 1980 murder and robbery of a Queens couple. He was pardoned yesterday in the final hours. You got a guy by the name of Ulysses Boyd was convicted of second-degree murder for a double shooting at a Harlem crack house.
I only thought they let out drug dealers when this, they're letting out murderers now. All the drug dealers must already be out.
So it's the parting gifts from our former Governor Cuomo that he left us with in the final hours. I guess it's okay in Andrew Cuomo's eyes that cop killers get released.
Yeah, it's crazy. So what was that guy's name?
David Gilbert.
No, the Mingo. Was it Mingo?
It was, I know, Paul Mingo.
Mingo. Tony, is that a relative? Isn't Tony one of our listeners?
Tony Mingo?
I think
it was
Tony
a
might
guy,
be a listener of the show.
A guy by the name of Paul Mingo. He's now 68 years old. He was sentenced to life, 50 to life in 1983 for the 1980 robbery murder of a Queens couple. And, but he got his GED in prison. Yeah. He was a good guy.
He's an ordained minister.
Right? Probably. Who knows?
Right.
I know. Stryker, why are any of those guys still breathing? It's a great question. The David Gilbert guy who was driving the U-Haul truck.
He didn't know. They told him he was going out to Applebee's for a sandwich.
Yeah, no. The Applebee's didn't even exist in 1980,
sure
did
it did.
I don't think it did.
No?
I don't think it did. Weather Underground. Weather Underground member Bill Ayers is buddy with Obama. I have heard that.
Yeah.
That is
Shocker
something
there.
that I have heard. We want to make sure that we say that we love our sponsors, Fantuzzo's Acupuncture.
We do.
Of course, Express Sealers, Precision Lawn and Garden, and also Taylor Heating and Cooling. Please, if you get a chance, call up Express Sealers. Have them come out and seal your driveway. Go see the Fantuzzos at where they have their acupuncture.
Buy an effing snowblower.
Listen, I know it's hot. Snow is coming. Precision Lawn and Garden. It always does. So, and we appreciate Taylor Heating and Cooling because they make it nice and cool in here at the We the People Podcast Network, and so we appreciate them. All right, so I want to get to the name of the show is I'll take misogynistic comments for 200, Alex. But first, I want to mention that the mandates are here. The mandates are here.
Is that an alien rock band?
Because our president, who is in way over his head and is foobarring everything he touches, made a huge plea yesterday that all businesses and hospitals and offices and government agencies and, every restaurants, hospital, everything. He wants all of those businesses to mandate the COVID vaccine. Pfizer yesterday got the FDA approval, and this is now going to lead the way into vaccine mandates. It's already happening.
Yep.
It is already happening. It's not happening here in this, business.
We don't require vaccinations at Revere Realty. Kimberly.
Right. We don't require much. Half a brain is all we require.
You just got to pass the test.
But that's where we are. And there are doctors who are now saying that they're refusing to treat unvaccinated individuals because they believe that they're the ones that are causing the huge COVID spread. In fact, here's what I want to say. When doctors won't treat someone because they're not getting a COVID vaccine, that is patient abandonment. And it is also, they're violating their own little oath that they take at the time they become a doctor. You know that Hippocratic oath that doctors say, no matter what, we'll treat anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter under what kind of circumstances. The doctors took that oath. Complaining or discriminating against unvaccinated Americans is hypocrisy. You as a doctor take an oath to treat everyone as best you can. For you not to do that makes you an asshole of mega proportions.
So we treat wounded military personnel from the other, the Germans.
That is correct.
And the Afghans.
That is correct.
And the Iraqis.
That is correct.
We treat them.
We do.
Enemies of the state that are terrorists. We treat
because doctors take that oath.
Unvaccinated Americans, you're on your own.
They're discriminating
but
against
if you get
unvaccinated.
shot on the battlefield, you get treated if you're an enemy.
That is correct.
Makes sense.
75 doctors in Florida staged a walkout. I think we have
just 75
a portion of it's going on all around the country, but here is a little portion of video.
Right.
This is why.
Just moments ago, more than 75 doctors staged a walkout to protest the number of COVID patients coming to the hospitals who have not been vaccinated. The thing, let's bring in Kerry Sanders, because Kerry, you're in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, at this doctor's walkout.
Look at all those doctors.
Kerry, and I know the area very well. What Americans don't understand is for every unvaccinated person that's filling up an ICU bed, that means with the hospitals jammed, somebody with a heart attack, and I've known somebody in this position, goes there, has trouble getting in, can't get treatment, can't get a bed. It is a nightmare for the doctors. It is a nightmare for the nurses. And to the doctor's point of view, it's worse yet for sick people that want help from them.
That is truly reflective of the frustration that you see behind me. And these doctors have gathered, some coming off their shifts to come out here, gathering to try to tell people, please, first of all, ignore the nonsense and the absurdities that you're hearing people say at public meetings and recognize the value of what a vaccine will do. 85% of the ICU beds in Florida are full. Now, there are some hospitals that have no space in the ICU.
Okay, so can we stop that just for a second? So shouldn't those 75 doctors get their asses back into the hospital and do their jobs?
Why is it at the bottom it says no reported new cases past 24 hours? What the hell is that?
I don't know.
3 million cases.
First off, take it with a grain of salt. It is MSNBC. I don't believe MSNBC is as bad and as liberal and is as far left as CNN. Right? But if you as a doctor cannot discriminate against the unvaccinated, if that's the case, I want to hear you bitching and moaning, all the doctors, about someone who comes in that's a biscuit shy of 325 pounds. Are you going to also discriminate against the obese? Are you also going to discriminate against chain smokers? Guys that go into the convenience store, women that go into the convenience store and buy 3 packs of Camels or Pall Malls or whatever the hell, or Marlboros, whatever you're smoking these days. I have no idea. The last time I bought a pack of cigarettes was for my dad in 1989. I couldn't even tell you how much a pack of. Are you also going to discriminate and bitch and moan and groan and complain about people who drink till their liver just disintegrates inside of their body? Stop it with the discrimination of the unvaccinated. It's ridiculous.
Drug overdoses.
Drug overdoses. People who continually stick at heroin. Oh, but Kimberly, it's a disease. Bullshit.
Jaywalkers.
It's not a disease. Alcoholism is not a disease. Drug abuse is not a disease. You chose willingly to go out and become these things. Should doctors not treat you for cirrhosis of the liver because you drank yourself into a stupor? Should they sit there and say, you know what? You drank too much, so I'm really not going to treat you today. But they're going to sit there and say, you're unvaccinated and you're making other people sick, so I'm not going to treat you today. What is that? What is that?
That's a don't be stupid.
I can't even believe that.
Yeah. What about motorcycles
Drivers. Anybody.
Those people are crazy.
I don't want to hear my doctor, who did yesterday, lecture me on the benefits of the vaccine. Yay, her. Appreciate her. Respect her. Not listening to that advice. Going to do my own thing because it's my body and I can choose my own health care. I'm a big girl. I have insurance and I make sure that I'm pretty healthy on a regular basis.
And you pay for your insurance.
And I pay for my insurance. I don't get it from the state. You know, it's not paid for by welfare. We pay for our insurance every single month. Thankfully to my husband, who has great health care. So I'm just going to say this. It is my body. It is my choice. If there are businesses who are going to mandate the vaccine, I will not be frequenting those businesses. If you want to see a vaccine card, I don't have one. If you'd like to take my money, because I think that businesses are hurting right now, they certainly don't have enough staff members. They certainly don't have enough customers. There's a supply chain shortage. I think those businesses need money, right? So you're going to tell me, you're going to turn me away because I'm not vaccinated? Screw you. Then I'll go somewhere else where I don't need to be vaccinated. But that's ridiculous.
Okay, I think I'm going tomorrow to get vaccinated.
Are you going tomorrow? No, you're not.
I think these doctors talked me into it.
No, you're not.
Why not?
But that's just what I'm saying. Is
my
that
COVID time's up? It's been 9 months since I had COVID. So 8.5 months. So it's time for my booster.
Instead of worrying about what's going on in Afghanistan, and by the way,
yeah, nobody cares about
we
that.
Completely got bullied by the Taliban leader.
Yeah,
the Taliban says August 31st. Or you're going to cross a red line.
We're going to start shooting your planes down.
That's what the head of the Taliban told a CIA agent in a private meeting that was confirmed today.
Yes.
President Biden sent a CIA agent over to talk to the Taliban president.
Bill Burns, the CIA director.
The Taliban said, August 31st, or you're going to cross the red line. And I'm like, fuck your red line.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious? You don't threaten the United States of America. But apparently, that is where we are. We have been bullied by a dude who rides around on a camel or in the back of a Toyota truck. You think I'm joking? We're bullied by a dude who rides in a camel or in the back of a 1980 Toyota pickup truck.
Not anymore. They got a 2018 Ford with all tricked out.
Courtesy of, the
States military
being pulled out at the last minute and not being able to take all that stuff with them.
You know, the one thing about that story that I found interesting, the diplomat, they called him, the Taliban diplomat.
The president.
No, this was just that the CIA director, Bill Burns, went and had a secret meeting with them. He was the top official, the diplomat. They have diplomats.
They're on Twitter.
Abdul Jani Bar something.
Okay.
Baradar.
Baradar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the guy's name that he went and saw.
Yeah. I'd say, you know what? You can.
He probably was in Guantanamo Bay 2 years ago, and now he's their top diplomat.
I'm sure he was. And
Right.
we let him out. But here's the thing. You can take that camel that you rode in on and kiss our asses.
Okay.
Right? Is that offensive? It's a freaking
Probably.
Taliban. They're a terrorist organization and we're being bullied. America, someone says we need to destroy the Taliban. Yes, yeah, they're probably in a new Humvee. Michael
Well, we
says
had 20 years to destroy him. What the hell was wrong with us then?
exactly. It's embarrassing. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment when instead of talking about the issue at hand with 10,000 Americans still left in Afghanistan, we're talking about businesses should mandate vaccines. Screw you, Biden. It's a big middle finger. Honestly, pisses me off.
Give him a double. Give
All
him
right.
a double bird.
I will take misogynistic comments for 200.
Okay.
Alex. That
What is
is the name.
what is Andrew Cuomo?
So
Who is Andrew Cuomo?
there he is, Michael Richards. I thought he was the best, and God help me, don't hate me for saying this, you guys, but I kind of loved Anderson Cooper. I don't love him on CNN, but I loved him as a Jeopardy host when he was the guest host.
I haven't watched Jeopardy in
I
years.
really loved him. I thought Mike Richards was good, and I thought the next in line should have been Anderson Cooper. I don't know how they make their decisions, but Mike Richards is stepping down as host of Jeopardy a week after he was chosen. The announcement came because of backlash that had been mounting. Why? Well, because he had a podcast back in 2012, 2013, when he said some rather off, color remarks to his assistant who was there with him. He had an assistant. She was on the podcast. She was a willing participant in this conversation. And, they were talking about her being a booth hoe or a booth slut or, whatever. And she was laughing along. Here's what people don't tell you is that she was a participant in this conversation where they're making fun of her for whatever job she had at the time. And then the producer asked, had she ever taken nude pictures? So basically, people made a decision that the comments that he said in 2013, 2012, 2013 were misogynistic and anti-women and racist and anti-Jew and, whatever. Right? So now he's gone. Mary Kay says, I thought Mike Richards was the best. I thought he was as well. There are a lot of misogynistic shows. Do you like Jimmy Kimmel? Do you remember the Man Show?
Yes.
I do.
The
where they had women
jumping up and down on the trampolines.
giant breasts
Perfect.
and little bitty bikini chops jumping up and down. In fact, that show was hosted by Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel, The Man Show. Go back and watch it because they touted themselves as, and I quote, written underneath The Man Show in their description, a joyous celebration of chauvinism. But Jimmy Kimmel gets a pass.
Is this Richard guy a registered Republican?
Mike Richards doesn't get a pass for having a conversation with a willing participant in that conversation.
And she never complained about it, right?
She never complained about it.
She didn't file any suits of sexual harassment or anything.
I guess he was also the producer of oh my goodness, The Price is Right, where he made some women feel uncomfortable having them go out in bathing suits on the stage of The Price is Right. Those are called Barker's Beauties.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember.
They'd always been walking out in bathing suits or really short dresses or something very, very tight. It's like Carol Merrill on, remember Carol Merrill from, oh my goodness. What's the name of that? The three, what's behind the curtain? You know what I'm talking about?
Let's Make a Deal.
Let's Make a Deal.
Monty Hall.
Monty Hall.
Who's Carol?
Carol Merrill was his girl that always had on the very, very tight, skimpy 1970s.
Who knew?
Which she wore like go-go boots and the mini skirt.
Mm-hmm.
Carol Merrill was her
Now
name.
it's the guy from Who's Line. He's fantastic.
So they said that he made fun of women's bodies. He used ignorant language. His former assistant and co-host, Beth Triffon, discussed her time working as a CES model And they were making fun of her for being a CES model. He goes, oh yeah, that's what we call a booth hoe. And she laughs. So, they talked about booby pictures and they talked about whatever. And yeah, it probably is not the smartest thing to do, but they were doing a podcast back in the day, 2012. Should you be punished and lose your job over comments like that?
Did they ask if she was sitting on her box?
I don't know. You asked me that if I was sitting on my box.
Yes.
Listen, the misogynistic shows. You got the Man Show with Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla. You have Baywatch. What is the slow motion picture
Of Pamela Anderson?
in Baywatch? It's the boobs going up and down as she's running across the beach. It's in slow motion, for God's sakes, right?
$6 Million Man.
I Dream of Jeannie has been touted as misogynistic because she called him master. Who didn't love I Dream of Jeannie?
That was a great show.
That was the best show ever. It's not misogynistic, but now all these shows, obviously the Man Show is 2.5 Men, Home Improvement. They're looking now at Aaron Rodgers, who says if his football allows him time to do Jeopardy, or if Jeopardy allows him time to do football, he would consider it. And probably the worst host of them all that filled in, LeVar Burton. He was horrible. Hands down, the worst. Aaron Rodgers in second place as the worst. They should be going right to Anderson Cooper and saying,
how come none of these hosts,
how
come going back to the misogynistic topic, how come none of these people are females?
Maya Bialik is the guest host who will fill in doing all the special Jeopardy events. And I don't know. I think they had some females fill in. Samantha Guthrie filled in. I think Robin Roberts from Good Morning America. Savannah Guthrie is from the Today Show on NBC. None of those really considered it because they already have significant daytime jobs, right? But honestly, we have to stop going back and picking apart people's pasts. Is it dumb behavior? Yeah. Should he be wiped clean as a Jeopardy host? Absolutely not.
You know who would be the best? Roseanne.
I love Roseanne. Really, I don't.
She'd be great.
I don't really prefer her.
Of course, she's already been canceled.
I don't mind her. I don't care for her militaristic lesbian outlook on life, but I love Roseanne.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm open-minded and non-judgmental when it comes to that. I loved her as a daytime talk show.
Yeah.
What she morphed into later was
what
a
about
little
Ellen?
crazy.
What about Ellen?
I love Ellen.
Yeah.
Ellen is far leaning left.
As far as you can lean.
Is she probably hateful behind the scenes? And were those rumors about Ellen true? Yeah, she was probably bitchy, but who isn't bitchy behind the scenes? All I'm saying is you shouldn't be judged for things you did 10, 15, 20 years ago. Things that were said on a podcast that was made up mostly of men.
35 years ago for Justice Kavanaugh at a keg party.
Well, who knows if that's even true? I mean,
he didn't even know if he was there.
But you know what? If anyone's going to be offended, let it be the girl that he was having a conversation with, his co-host and his producer at the time. That girl. Her name, again,
who never complained about it.
Whose name was Beth, who never complained about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who probably had a great time doing it. But there is someone.
Well, at least they got paid on their podcast.
That is getting an award that is given to people who've been in radio for a very long time, who's been sued on multiple occasions for harassment of women and bad workplace behavior, who has caused several females that worked with him to leave, who is now up for a major award.
Shocker.
Who calls women broads on a regular basis. But that's okay.
Because he's a Democrat.
That's okay. That's all right. You call women broads, and we applaud you, and we put you on a pedestal, and we give you a plaque. You're a good person. Don't let anyone tell you you're not. She says sarcastically. That's all that kills me.
And they went after Rush Limbaugh for the same stuff.
And they went after Rush Limbaugh for the same stuff. And they talked horribly about him and his death. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you right now, calling women broads and having several women file harassment lawsuits against you, and there were several, and having several women leave because of your behavior and whatever you did in the studio is not acceptable and should not get you an award. But it will get you an award, and people are, oh, he's the best. Okay, fantastic.
He's in the club.
He's in the club. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, good for him.
Good, good for him.
Good for him.
But
he deserves it.
I'll take misogynistic comments for 100. Guy shouldn't lose his job. He shouldn't have stepped down. But it is what it is. We say things on podcasts and on radio shows, and you know, it doesn't mean we're bad people. It just means we're talking for a living. And when you're and again,
wait a minute, I'm actually doing this for a living.
Well, I don't know if you're making any money.
Okay.
But we all have free will choice. If that woman didn't want to have the conversation with Mike Richards back in the day, she should have got up and walked off the show. I have gotten up and walked off shows.
I've done it.
I have quit shows before because
that's it.
You get tired of the bullshit, right? So, but you know, we all have free will choice. So that's all I've got to say about that.
All right, we're done.
Yeah, it's Kimberly's Revolution. It is a Tuesday. Do you have Tom's take?
You went over a few of them already.
What did I go over? I hit everything that was supposed to be hit.
A couple of them.
All right.
Did you hear about the German beer nun?
No.
There's a 72-year-old German beer nun. She has been a master brewer for 50 years.
God bless her.
In Maulersdorf, Germany. She's
Really?
a Franciscan nun.
Wow.
She says that
she's a hip nun.
She says that she loves beer and she drinks about a half a liter a day.
I love beer.
And
I still love beer.
It works great when you're fasting for Lent because beer is not food.
There was a guy in Cincinnati who worked for one of the big brewery. He worked for a brewery, and we had talked to him twice because every year from the start of Lent until the very end, he didn't eat food. He just drank beer. And that is true. I think he's a guy it's either Cincinnati or Cleveland. I can't remember, but yeah. So good for that nun.
72-year-old nun. She's a
awesome.
master brewer.
She's awesome.
5 ways to prevent gray hair.
Don't get married.
That's one of them. Did you know that hair is naturally white?
Don't get fired.
Hair is naturally white hair. And it's, of course, the melanin that determines whether you have dark hair or light colored hair.
Or red hair.
But the 5 things, number 1, yeah, if you're a ginger, well, yeah, gingers. To smoking.
Right here.
Number 3, your diet, but I'll get back to that one. Number 4, vitamins. You should be taking B3 and B12 mainly.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Number 5
I don't
is
believe in
the exposure to heat and your chemical treatments are bad for your hair, right?
Okay.
But number 3, this is where this one's going. Most of the article was about your diet. And of course, everything was plant-based, low sugar, light on animal fat. And it was all about climate change. So this article about gray hair was a thing about climate change. We got to get rid of the cows.
Your hair
and we got to eat grains. And we have to be vegetarian.
Your hair turns colors because you're that's just bottom line.
No,
because you're freaking old. That's
your
why
hair
you're gray.
changes color, Kimberlina, because of climate change.
Okay, I'm so glad to know that.
Okay.
I'm so glad to know.
And lastly,
yes.
Do you know that every hot dog you eat takes off 35 minutes of your life?
That cannot be true. My mother survived on hot dogs most of her life, and she's still kicking.
Okay.
At 87.
Researchers, who the hell is paying for a research to find out if hot dogs cause your life to be shorter? I mean,
our doctor's going to discriminate because you ate nothing but hot dogs. Our doctor's going to say, we refuse to treat you because you had too many hot dogs.
Okay.
That's all I'm
So 35 minutes for a hot dog.
Yeah.
If you have 85 grams of chicken wings, I don't know what 85 grams is. It can't be a lot of chicken wings.
That's got to be like one chicken wing.
Okay. 3.3 minutes for every chicken wing you eat.
Takes off your life?
Right. And
we're all just screwed.
The most is sugary drinks, burgers, breakfast sandwiches, chicken wings, and hot dogs.
Was screwed.
How the fuck am I even alive?
So that's why, because you're pickled on the inside.
Right.
That's why.
So the only thing in here that is saving me is every peanut butter and jelly sandwich adds 33 minutes to your life.
I do love me some peanut butter. Now, peanut butter, does that count if you have like Reese's peanut butter cups?
And again, just like the gray hair, you start with this article.
Yeah.
And the article is you eat a hot dog, you lose 35 minutes of your life. And you get into the article and it starts to talk about, well, we shouldn't be having cows. There should be no meat.
Up,
we should be vegetarians.
It's awful.
We should save the planet. And if we save the planet, we will live longer because there will be no hot dogs.
Ridiculous. Just call me abroad and tell me to sit on my box and we'll be done. Call it a day. Do it.
Right.
Call me abroad and tell me to sit on my box.
No.
Do it.
That's disrespectful because it's not in comedic tone.
Okay.
It is directly pointed at you.
That is going to be.
Did your doctor call you fat? Because my doctor,
no.
My doctor is slightly overweight.
No.
So it's always good when your doctor is slightly overweight because then they feel guilty about calling you fat.
She asked why I had gained the weight that I had gained.
But she didn't call you fat?
Which was significant from last August to this August, but she did not call me fat. And I just said, it's been an interesting year. That's all.
My old doctor, who's now retired, he was a kind of a skinny gentleman and he used to call me fat. So now we have a new doctor that's, been probably 5 years, but she's a little on the heavy side.
Yeah.
And she doesn't call me fat
of
because
course
she's,
not.
That would be hypocritical.
Because she is, right?
Right.
Honestly, probably the biggest part of it is I haven't been running because of the tendonitis in my right foot is honestly so freaking bad. It hurts so much.
Do you know why I haven't been running?
Because you don't
Because I hate fucking running. Who the hell volunteers to run?
I found that took the weight off the best way of any way I've ever tried. Forget Weight Watchers, forget the Nutrisystem, forget all those things.
You just got to pay John H to come and train you. You got to get your ass back into shape.
When John H finds out how much I've gained in a year, he's going to shoot me. But whatever. He's my trainer. So at some point in time, I'll get back on the exercising bandwagon. And then once I'm on, I'm on.
Peloton came out with a new cheaper. What's the running thing? The treadmill.
The treadmill.
They came out with a cheaper treadmill. It's like $2,700.
I want the mirror. That's what I want. But there's a new bar class that just opened up, and I don't mean bar as in you go and drink.
You'd like do shots while you're working out.
BARRE, and it's in Greece. And I'm thinking to ask Patty if she'll go up there and take some bar classes with me.
You don't want to ask me?
Because her daughter takes cheerleading right next door.
I used to do jazzercise.
So I was going to call Patty later and say, hey, listen, if your daughter is at cheer, why don't we just go next door and do a bar class? And I guess it's a hell of a workout. So I don't know. But anyway, that's going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution, where I'm the broad and he's the box.
I'm just Tom. That's all I am. Just Tom.
That's it.
God bless. Be kind to others.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.